Welcome to another transport compliance video with Fleet Planner. Today we will show you how to set up basic compliance system for driver's hours using VDO Tacho Analysis. So VDO Tacho Analysis System is available online. You will need to obtain the login, the link in the description of the video if you would like to start. So I will be using our demo account for this demonstration, and so some of the data may not be accurate, but I think you will be able to work out the logic how to operate the system. So I need to put my credentials in and then my password, and then I click login. As you can see, we land on this page here, which tells us, shows us how we can upload the data onto the system. It also gives us option to retrieve the data. So once the data is uploaded onto the system, and let's say DVSA requests data from us, then we can simply retrieve them and send it to DVSA for analysis. And just below here we've got some prompts for missed uploads. Obviously this is a demo account, as I said, so there is quite a few prompts. Normally you shouldn't have this many prompts in here to be for the downloads to be overdue. I'm going to show you in a minute how to make the uploads. Just quickly clicking on the dashboard here, which also gives you a number of prompts and some information about your company. So you can have a kind of overview in here what's going on. But going back to the download section, I'm going to go through these options here for you. So you've got the driver card option. So this is mainly for larger companies who are using desk-based download tool. So you can connect that, and then when the driver slots the card in, then it will automatically upload from the driver card. You can also download directly from the download key and or from the computer. But for this demonstration, I'm going to choose the browse option, which is here as well. So obviously the data, you obtain it from device like that. There are a number of different devices available on the market, but essentially you pull the data from the tacho head of the vehicle and from the driver cards, and then that creates some DDD files that you need to upload here. So I'm going to click browse, and then I'm in my downloads, and I've just prepared the file here to upload, so I'm just simply going to use that one. It is selected, one file. Yes, it gives me some detail about this file, and I click OK. This is how it's done. This is how you upload the file onto the system. Obviously, if you would like to purchase one of those devices for your compliance, then the link is also in the description. So please click on that or give us a call at Fleet Planner Compliance, and we'll be able to help. Moving on to the next section of VDO Tacho Analysis System, I will click on my drivers and on my vehicles. I'll show you how to navigate how to access the information. So most important from our perspective is what the drivers were doing. As you can see, if I select one driver, it gives me an overview. So again, I've got some notifications here. I've got I can click on the personal information, legal information. I can access the files that were uploaded for that driver, and most important for me is the activity. So I'm just going to click on that, and as you can see, the drivers are the driver activity is listed here, and it shows me what they were doing. So if I click on double click on one of the days, it shows me these options. So kind of summaries of how much driving they did, how much other work, if there was any breaks taken, and overall summary. If I click on detailed view, and I will be able to see that what they were actually doing through the day. Now it's all color coded, so as you can see, the driver started from the brake, and so essentially put the tachograph in, and then the tacho was left on the brake. Then we've got some period of other work, and we've got then period of driving. Then there is another period of other work, and then the period of driving. So it's obviously a very short day, but this is the information that we have on the system. So this is basically how you access that. So the reason you would want to access this information is if you need to see what the driver was actually doing at what time or if you're trying to explain any infringements, or if you had to go back and see what they were actually doing, how much time they took to complete the job and things like that. So there is a little bit of an investigation option there for you to use that kind of system. You also have the number of options here for like modify, but for this basic tutorial, I'm going to skip that for now. So just to make you aware that there is an option here that you can add some comments and some activities there. But for now, I'm just going to move on to the vehicles, and in a very similar way as the drivers, I can select one of the vehicles, and then I also have all this information here, and I can click on the vehicle activity. And again, if I double click, I've got a detailed view, and I can see what was happening. So here I am, I've landed on the vehicles section, and I can select one of the vehicles and simply just go to the activity section to actually monitor what the vehicle was doing. And then I've also have all the other options that we discussed in a similar way as the drivers. So I'm clicking on the 22nd here, and as you can see that there is 4 hours and 20 minutes of driving. I'm clicking on a detailed view, and it shows me when the vehicle was driven. It doesn't tell me the other information, because I only have the vehicle information. So the driver what the driver activity was, it would be displayed from this section here. So whether the driver was on break or whether the driver was on other work or POA, that would have been displayed in this section. However, from the vehicle point of view, we only have the information on the driving and non-driving. So the grey bit in here is the non-driving activity. So simply for this section, that's what you do in terms of checking your drivers and vehicles in terms of their activities and what's recorded on the tachographs. So the next section of the VDO Tacho Analysis System is the reports section. The reports section is where our compliance is being managed. So this is a very important section. Now, so if I click on the reports, I have drivers, I've got vehicles, and I also have scheduled reports. Now, scheduled reports, I don't have any, but essentially what you can do is you can schedule the reports that they are emailed on the regular basis to the dedicated email address, which obviously helps with management of the data of the day-to-day operation. But I'm going to go back to the drivers, and I'm going to select all of the drivers for the depot in question, and I will run my first and very important report, which is driver infringements. And I'm going to, so you can split that between driver infringement shift report and a driver letter report. So first I'm going to select a driver infringement shift report, and I have the date range in here, and I also have the regulations, the type of regulations that I'm ticked for. So it's working time directive and EU hours regulations, which most companies operate under. If you are operating under domestic regulations, then you will need to change that in settings. But again, that's very advanced, and most people are not under domestic regs. So I'm going to select a different date range. So obviously I'm recording this in August, so I'm going to go back to 1st of March and run the report. Now, obviously, again, for your normal compliance, you wouldn't be running it. Hopefully you would run it more frequently than every few months. You want to do it at least on a monthly basis, if not more frequently, if you've got issues with your drivers. So I'm going to click generate, and the report is going to populate. So the report pops up. I'm going to drop it in my downloads and click save. And here I am, driver infringement report appears in here, so I can open that and see what the drivers were doing, and more importantly, if there were any infringements. So unfortunately, there were infringements for my drivers on my system, so I will have to debrief them. So this section again shows me the activity view, what they were doing. It tells me exactly what the drivers failed to do. So I've got a date here and then brief description of the infringement. So the first one is in here is working time directive infringement. It says failure to take a break after 6 hours duty, and then it gives me more details here. So the driver was actually working 6 hours 11 minutes without taking a break. So as you can see, going back to the previous videos where I was showing you the calendar, then you can see that there is other work activities, driving activities, and then they go on for 6 hours 11 minutes before the break is taken here, the green part. So that whole section was 6 hours 11 minutes. So you can clearly just show that to the driver and tell them what they did wrong. And obviously you can add the comments as well to the system, or you can simply print that option and that paper, make it hard copy, and write your comments on there and keep it on file as well. So there's two options here. I want to keep that video very simple, so I'm just going to show you this report, and then you can simply print it and get and demonstrate it to the driver. So obviously we've got a number of other infringements here for other drivers as well, and so this one has got 2. Then we've got the next driver has got more infringements, and so on. There are a number of other drivers that are coming up here. So so I've got quite a detailed view of what they were doing and what their mistakes were. Now, so this section you can either email or whatever communication you've got with the drivers. You do need to make them aware of the mistakes that they have made, and obviously you need to keep records that either some disciplinary action was taken or some action. Well, first obviously you would retrain them, you would demonstrate, you would tell them what they are doing wrong, and then kind of point them in the direction of the solution. So one of the solutions is, for example, the driver training. So you can use the driver CPC training or simply the demonstration on driver's hours. We've got some videos as well on the application of driver's hours regulations and how to avoid common pitfalls. So you can show them that, or simply give us a call. We are quite happy to do the training for your drivers as well. So that report, obviously we either print or save, but most importantly we show to the drivers. Then moving on, we've got another report here, which is driver letter. So this driver letter is a very similar report, but this option will allow us, will allow section for the drivers to sign the infringements off. So I'm going to click generate, and it will also pop up in my for me to save. So that's what I'm going to do now, and my driver letter appears in here. So I've got the same section here, just demonstrated in a different format. I've got my company details here, and it is addressed directly to the driver, informing them that they had infringements, and then there is option for them to sign, and then they're signed by the transport manager or the person responsible for managing driver's hours. So that's how you build records, using these 2 reports and making sure they are run on a regular basis. Obviously, important part to remember: first, you need to upload the data that covers the date range that you want to produce the report for. So obviously, there is no point producing a report for the section that for the time that you haven't got files uploaded onto the system. So just obviously it's worth keeping an eye on that, because if you do that, you will see that the report came out okay, but this is because there was no data, so the system is not going to be able to find anything. So important part is to remember that this stuff needs to be uploaded first, then we run the reports. Next report from VDO Tachograph Analysis System I'm going to show you is working time directive report. So you've got obligation to run working time directive reports, making sure that that your drivers do not work more than 48 hours on average, and that obviously they don't break other regulations as well. So you need to run them on a regular basis. to monitor where you are in terms of monitoring driver's hours. You need to remember to add their holidays, sickness, so the records are in full on the system, and then you produce the accurate data. Then obviously you also need to remember about the 17-week periods, or whatever periods that you're using for the working time analysis, but most people are on 17-week working periods, so please remember about that, to have the reports covering those periods, and that you have them available on file. The way to do it is simply by, again, clicking on the reports. I'm selecting either one driver at a time, or I can select all drivers for the depot, and I'm going to click on the WTD driver summary, and I'm going to produce this report for from the 3rd of April to the 6th of August, and just for the purpose of this demonstration. Okay, you can obviously choose different dates. If you were covering your 17-week period or 26-week period, then you would select those dates as well. But for the demonstration, I'm going to generate this report from this date range. And again, I'm saving this on my computer, and then I'm opening the file. So this is my working time directive driver summary, which shows me how the activities that the drivers were doing. So I've got how many work days there were, and all the information in here. As you can see, I've not populated anything manually yet, so because this is a demo account, so there is nothing to display. But you can see that what the drivers were doing. The most important section for the working time directive report is actually how much the most important section for the working time directive report is this section here. So it shows us the total work for the period, and it also shows us the average work which we want to see. So obviously there is not enough information on the system, as I said, because it's a demo account, so these figures are quite low. But normally if someone works let's say 9 hours a day, and they have an hour of break, then you would expect about 40 hours a week if they work 5-day week. So that's kind of that kind of figures you would expect. Obviously, if the drivers are working more and driving more, then these figures will be going much higher, and you need to manage that, making sure that it doesn't exceed 48 hours on average. So how to do that? So obviously, I would invite you to watch our other videos on that. But obviously, for now, you need to be aware that this exists, and this is a legal requirement for you to run this report. So it's not optional; it is a basic compliance requirement for you to run this and making sure that you monitor your drivers. So the next report I would like to show you on our VDO Tachograph Analysis System is the upload history. So again, it's very important to find out if you're uploading your data on a regular basis, and if you need to audit that, basically. So making sure that you capture all the data from all the drivers and vehicles. So it will be quite similar for the drivers and vehicles, but I'm going to show you on a drivers section. So again, I'm selecting all of my drivers and clicking upload history. And again, I've got 3rd of April for no particular reason, just for the demonstration here, and I'm going to click generate. So it's saving on my computer. I'm going to open that quickly, and then we can see all the drivers listed here and how many uploads actually were completed. So you can see that some drivers have only got one upload, so it doesn't tell me a lot of information, but in the cases where I've got more than one file, then I can see that when the last download happened. So we've had dates in here, and you can work out how many days between the downloads and whether you run in a compliant manner or not. Now, obviously, at the moment, the current requirement for the driver card is up to 28 days. So you want to make sure that you stay below that period. to make sure that you capture all the data required and stay compliant. For the vehicles, it is up to 90 days. But again, you want to do it more often than that, because if you don't have the information populating onto the system, then you're not really able to run proper reports. And then if you run reports after 90 days, which is 3 months time, then nobody's going to remember what they were doing at the beginning of the period. So, and then these people may not even be with the company. So you're not being very effective in terms of your compliance. So important part is to actually monitor this and see whether you are running operation in a compliant manner. So just quickly going to show you on the vehicle section as well. Again, I'm selecting this, and then I'm clicking on the upload history in the same way as I did with my drivers. Again, still selecting the same date range, which obviously you can choose to do whatever suits your operation. And I'm clicking the report and then saving it on my computer. Then we've got all the registration listed here, and obviously all the download frequencies as well. The next driver's hours compliance reports from the VDO Tachograph Analysis System I would like to show you is the vehicle check report. So this report is also called lead-in report by some people. It shows us whether drivers completed a walk-around check within a certain time. So if the time was shorter than requested by the company or anticipated by the company, then it will flag up here. So again, I'm selecting all of my drivers, clicking the report. I'm doing a date range as usual, and click generate. Save, open, and then the report appears in here. And as I said earlier, the report is going to show me any time period that is selected, then that's shorter than I anticipated. Now it is whatever is anticipated by the company can be managed in settings. So if I can just quickly show you, if I click on settings, on data, and I believe it's driver activity, and as you can see that automatically generate alert if vehicle check duration is less than 10 minutes. So I can check that figure if I wanted to, but I don't really want to, because I think 10 minutes is acceptable. So but if you've got company policy that says different, then you can simply just adjust it in here. I'm going to go back to my report here, and as you can see, I've got 3 instances of drivers doing walk-around check in less than 10 minutes. One is 4, and 2 of them are in 0 minutes. That means the driver simply just put the card in and drove away. Now we want to avoid this situation, because the drivers, the walk-around check, checking if the vehicle is in good condition, is a requirement for the compliance, and this needs to be completed. So if the drivers are not completing it, then that's a major problem. There might be also another source of this if information is when the driver actually completed the check before putting the card in. Now, this is another failure of compliance if that's being the case, because people are required to keep records of their full day, not just part of the day where they do driving. So what's the best way approach is to actually at the start of the shift put the card into the vehicle. If there is any requirement for manual entry because some other work was completed before, then that needs to be completed then. And once the card is in the vehicle, because you are working around the vehicle, so there is no reason for you not to put the card in, then you select other work and then complete the walk-around check. That's then recorded as other work, so you've got a proper report on everything shows on the system correctly, and that's, as a transport manager or responsible person for compliance, that's the situation you want to achieve with your drivers. That all the records are kept and you're able to demonstrate that in a transparent manner. The next report for driver's hours compliance using VDO Tachograph Analysis System I would like to show you is on the vehicle section. The report is going to show us if we've got instances of drivers using the card, of not using the card whilst driving. So again, I'm going to select all the vehicles and I'm clicking, I've got vehicle activity section here, and one of the reports shows me vehicle kilometer discrepancy. And I've got some date range selected here. Obviously you can select the date range that is more relevant to you, but I'm going just to show you this for the demonstration purposes, and I can generate this report. So I'm saving it and the report appears in here. So we can see the date in question and the driver in question for the vehicle is in here, and it tells us when we've got missing data. So if we have a driver and we've not uploaded their information onto the system, then it will be just flagged with their name. But if the vehicle was driven without the card, then it will show in this section, and it will also show me how many kilometers are missing from my Tachograph Analysis System. As you can see in here, we've got quite a few. This is mainly driven because this is a demo account and we don't have full information on our system. So that's particularly why your report should not look like that. If it does, then you've got some major issues with compliance. But if it does, please give us a call, because you need to act on it very quickly. Missing mileage or failure to download the cards in time is where you don't have full information on your Tachograph Analysis System, then that indicates a major fail in the operator license undertakings. And obviously you've got to keep these records for 12 months for driver's hours, 24 months for working time directive. So you need to act quickly to rectify these issues. There is other thing I would like to show you, which is very similar. You can use this report here to show you this information in a different way. We've got vehicle driven without the card report. You've got the full description here of that report, but essentially if you select this report, let's just do a bit of a larger date range and generate that, it will show me also visually where I have missing information, or where I have the information that the drivers were actually not using the driver card. So this is kind of more visual way of demonstrating that. Okay, so again, this reporting on the missing mileage is very important from the company compliance point of view. You cannot skip that. This is a basic compliance requirement. If you are struggling with that, we are here to help at Fleet Planner Compliance. It will be my pleasure to assist. Just give us a call or contact us through our social media or through our website, or you can give us a call or send us an email. Essentially, this was the major reports that we wanted to show you for the basic transport compliance. So please remember, this video is to introduce you to the system and to show people who are not familiar with the responsibilities regarding driver's hours, to show you what they have to do. Now, there is obviously many more reports, as you can see on the system, for the drivers and for the vehicles. You can explore them through this information section here, which every report is going to be described in here in this little pop-up. So we would encourage you to look through them as well, because you may find some of the reports here more applicable to your particular operation. Now, I would also like to encourage you to schedule the reports, because you can see that I've got nothing here, but if you any report that you probably could pick up throughout the video, if I, let's say, wanted to do infringement report for all my drivers, and I wanted to do it on the regular basis, I could schedule that report and then simply put that to my email. Now, you can say that you can set a date range, so we can say, like, let's do a previous week, and then it will simply be run on the regular basis. If I click schedule, then it will it will populate and then it will appear in my scheduled report. So all the reports that we talked about in the video, I would like to encourage you to schedule them. They will be emailed to you on a regular basis. However, you need to remember that you need to populate the information to the system first. It is this system is very comprehensive. You can also request automatic downloads that is being populated directly to the system. So for that, I would like to also encourage you to contact us. This can be arranged through Fleet Planner. Essentially you will not have any issues with the missing data because the downloads will be completed on the regular basis. And then if you schedule your reports, as long as you open them and you act on them, you read them and present them to your drivers, then and to your team, then your driver's compliance should be in a good shape. So if this was helpful, please give us a like, subscribe for more. We've got more compliance videos coming up. Hopefully you found this beneficial. So if yes, then please support us by subscribing and liking this video. So thanks for watching. My name is Roman. This is a Fleet Planner compliance video.